Hello and welcome again. Now in this video, the goal is to make sure we receive dynamic input from the user. Now we want to receive dynamic input from the user. So instead of, our application is working fine now, but there's one problem. So if I run it always, what you're going to see is, the name is always Evans Edu, the age is always 20. When we close the application and then open it in the next 30 years, it's still going to be the same. Okay. Now we want to make it dynamic. We want to accept input from the user. So let's look at how in Java we can accept input. Now Java is one of the 4 object-oriented programming languages. So everything you do is what? Object. Okay. Now how do we receive input from the user? We first have to create an object that will take care of that. Okay. So this is it. You move to the very top and then you type scanner. Now the scanner here, the S is supposed to be uppercase. Okay. This is how it's supposed to be. The S is uppercase. As for this one, it can be any name. Some people choose to go with scanner, but I think it's quite confusing sometimes. So I make it input and then it's equal to new scanner. Now if we use system.out to display, if we want to take input from the user, it's the opposite. So that is going to be system.what? .in. Okay. So this is system.in is a way of letting Java know that we want to take input from the user. We want to accept some information from the user. So system.in. Okay. Now everything is done, but why is it that we have the red lines? You have to import it. Now this scanner is coming from some built-in files in Java already. When you install the JDK, there are some files that will be installed on your system. That is where the scanner is coming from. Now for us to be able to use it here, we have to import it. We have to call it that we need you here. Okay. So the easy way is just hover on it. When you hover on it, you'll see we have import scanner into bracket java.util. You see we have a lot of scanners here, but I have to choose the one that has java.util next to it. So right after, you can see we have what? Import java.util.scanner. So this is the type that will help us to what? Receive input. Now right after that, what do you see? The error is gone. Okay. So now we have our Java scanner available. So always you have to make sure you have this line of code there. The name of the class is scanner. This is called the object. Okay. And then the new scanner is an initiative. We are just telling the scanner that, the information we want is supposed to come from the user. That's why we have system.in. Okay. So this line is mandatory, it's necessary. It can change. The only thing that can change is the name input. You can make it any name. That doesn't matter. But when it comes to the scanner here, it's necessary or it's supposed to be always there. Okay. All right. So now this is what we are going to do. Let me change it. So the fact that you are having this doesn't mean your program can still accept input, right? When you run it, everything is the same. This is what will allow us, but we have not initiated or started it. So we can say that system.out.println. Okay. Enter name. Now, when you run it, enter name is going to what? Is going to be what? Displayed, because we know that always when displaying, we use what? The system.out. That's why I have enter name here. So to receive the name, I'll say that name, instead of it equal to Evans Edu, I'll call the input dot next line. Okay, so input dot next line. Now you can see this next line function is being called on the input, what we created here. So if up here yours was RR, that means down here it is supposed to be what? RR. You just want to always make reference to what is what up there. Okay. So that is about this line. Now let's run it and see what happens. So run. Now enter name. So it's requesting for name. James. So now you can see when the information was being printed, name came as what? James. Okay. So we use the same approach to provide for all the other variables. Okay. So that is it. Okay. So the next thing we have done is the what? The age. Now, if you want to receive a value from the user and it's an integer you are expecting, then you have to use next int. Okay. Then the next line is only for strings. If the data type is integer, you call the input and then you specify next int to mean you want what? You want integer. Okay. Now the same way, if you go to the salary, since the data type for the salary is double, you have to call the what? The input dot next double. That means it's double we are looking for. The next one being weight. Since the weight is also float, we'll say that input dot next float. Okay, like that. But when it comes to gender, gender is char. We don't have anything like input dot next char. Okay, so for gender, we'll have a way around it. Gender is a bit different. So input dot next char index 0. Okay, so for gender, because gender is char, we don't have any function like char. So you have to call the next line, okay, next line for string, and then char at. This char at will tell you that, whatever string the user provide, just get the first character, because strings have indexes. The first character will always have index of 0. So it will just get you the first character from the string. Okay. For Boolean too, we do have the same. So we can have next Boolean. Enter. So can you vote? Let me put it that way. And then input dot next Boolean. Okay. So now this is how you can make the application dynamic. Okay. I'll add a print. Okay. Let me just leave it like this. Now we'll run it again. And you can see now this time around, enter name, John Smith, age is 29, salary, weight is 2.3. There is an issue, so let me check. Okay. So we enter the float, and then this side is giving the error. Okay, so let's try again. Actually, I don't know why this took place, but let's try again and see. So the name, salary. Okay, so enter gender. So enter gender is now giving the issue. So let's, okay. Next. Let me make it next and then we'll see. If it works, I'll explain why we have to. But I'm not really expecting this though. Okay. So we have to go with next. We have next and then next line. Now next line is used when you are grabbing something like sentence. First name, space, last name, space, middle name, anything, whenever the information you're expecting can span more than a word, then you go with the next line. That one, Java will be ready to receive that whole line you are going to type. But the next is also used for string, just that it grabs just one word. Okay. So if, for instance, over here, instead of next line, I go with next. When I run the program, it will, so name, James Smith Edu. Okay, you can see we even have an error. Okay, we have an error because next is not meant to go that long. But if we make it just one word, James, you see now it works. So the next cannot receive, it can't take any input that spans more than a word. But gender is going to be just one word. Okay, it's just going to be like one, let's say like a character. So that's the main reason why you type one word and then it extracts the first character from you. So let's look at how it works. So James, the age is 29, salary, enter the weight. Now gender, if I type male, okay, now the next can accept a word. So if I type a male, because of the char at 0, it's an instruction to pick just the first character from the whole string. If I hit enter, can you vote? True. You can see that gender is only what? Male. Meanwhile, we typed what? Male. It's M. Meanwhile, we type male. Now, if I change it and then I make it 1, I'm trying to say that the characters that the user will enter, pick the one that has index of 0. So index starts from 0. So 0, 1, which will be what? The A. So because we want to pick the first one, that's why always we make it A. And then like that. Okay. So this is what we can look at about displaying information and then taking input from the user. Now take your time and then go through what you have done. If you don't understand anything, you can go back to the video and then keep watching to get it. Okay. You can also text me or let me know if something is beyond you. All right. So thank you so much for the time. I'll see you next. Bye.